Hello and welcome. I'm Blair Blackwell, and this is the Daily Market Brief. Let's catch up on what's moving in markets today.
Good morning. It's Tuesday, 20 January, London Open Prep. Here are the key themes shaping the open. Renewed tariff talk out of Washington aimed at Europe is pressuring risk appetite. Gold is pushing to fresh record highs on safe haven demand. And oil is softer, as supply fears ease. Starting with geopolitics and policy, markets are reacting to fresh US-EU trade tensions. Reports overnight flagged threats of a 200% tariff on French wines and champagne, alongside renewed rhetoric about taking control of Greenland. Asian equities traded subdued on the headlines, a reminder that trade uncertainty can resurface quickly and spill over across regions. For traders, that matters. In Europe, the policy backdrop remains busy. Brussels is deep in discussions over the next multi-trillion euro budget and a new security strategy, while political attention also fixes on how any US-EU trade frictions might evolve. That mix keeps the euro in focus around the open and adds another layer to a week already shaped by central banks and inflation dynamics. Turning to the UK, the latest jobs report showed the unemployment rate steady at 5.1% in November, broadly in line with expectations. Wage growth remains the key metric for the Bank of England, and while today's release didn't throw a major surprise, pay trends will continue to guide rate expectations. Sterling was firmer against the yen into the data, helped by yen softness. Meanwhile, in commodities, gold extended its climb to a fresh all-time high, with safe haven flows front and center. Oil is moving the other way, with West Texas Intermediate slipping as Iran tensions ease and trade war worries sap demand sentiment. Adding to the oil narrative, Russia's oil and gas fiscal take is reportedly set to drop sharply in January on lower international prices and a stronger ruble, a sign of the pressure lower crude can exert on producers' budgets. Currencies reflect that cautious tone. The Swiss franc is bid as a haven, pressuring the dollar-franc pair. The Australian dollar is firmer with the greenback on the back foot amid the Greenland headlines, while the yen is struggling to gain traction ahead of the Bank of Japan decision and amid domestic political uncertainty. In emerging markets, the Indian rupee remains under pressure as importer demand for dollars persists. The Canadian dollar is steadier, with oil's slide offset by a softer US dollar. Looking ahead, the calendar is relatively quiet after the UK labor print, and attention turns to policy signaling from Japan and any fresh trade rhetoric out of Washington and Europe. In Brussels, ongoing budget talks will also draw interest. I'll be watching the Aussie dollar against the US dollar, looking for an uptrend if US trade tensions keep the greenback soft. I'll be watching dollar franc for a continued downtrend on haven demand, and euro dollar for a gentle bid if tariff talk lingers. On commodities, I'll be watching gold for follow-through at the highs, and US crude for a downtrend, while supply anxieties cool. In Asia FX, I'll be watching dollar rupee for signs the uptrend persists on importer flows. And with the yen, I'll be watching pound yen for an upward bias if Japan risk stays in focus. The takeaway? Markets are cautious and leaning into safety, with politics setting the early tone more than economics.
That's it for today's edition of the Daily Market Brief. Thanks for listening. I'm Blair Blackwell. This podcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice, trading recommendations, or investment guidance.